Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I'd just like to take this wonderful opportunity to extend an apology from Dr. Cosmas Chitem, who was supposed to be representing the Department of Science and Technology. So due to unforeseen circumstances, he's unable to attend this prestigious event, and in this regard, I will be doing the presentation on his behalf. As the program director has already mentioned, my name is Umendi Nompumelelo from the Department of Science and Technology under the Hydrogen and Energy Chief Directorate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to just take this wonderful opportunity to also extend our sincere gratitude to the organizers of this prestigious event, as well as to our valued partner, SASTA, that has allowed us the opportunity to actually participate in this prestigious event. As the department, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity, and it is indeed an honor and a privilege to participate in this event of this magnitude. So we thank you. As the Department of Science and Technology, ladies and gentlemen, we are aware of the fact that the small business sector in South Africa plays a critical role. It has a huge potential to actually play a critical role in addressing some of the key priorities of government, such as economic growth, employment, creation, to mention but a few. In the same tone, we are also aware of the fact that the SMMEs are the engine of economic growth. And we believe that as government, with the adequate and appropriate support, the SMMEs could actually play a pivotal role in ensuring, in creating employment in our country, as well as just playing a critical role in facilitating the job creation opportunities. So ladies and gentlemen, it is with this in mind that as the Department of Science and Technology today, we're just going to give you a brief, high-level overview of the Hydrogen South Africa program. Basically, this Hydrogen South Africa program is also known as the HySA program. It's basically geared towards addressing some of the key challenges that government is facing, such as energy access, energy security, and environmental protection. Basically, in essence, in a nutshell, the Hydrogen South Africa program is basically intended to promote and to promote the local development of deployment of hydrogen and fuel cell in targeted markets. So basically, we want to ensure that we build the skills and the capacity that as for the country, we can be able to deploy these systems, these energy systems that will be able to address these key challenges that I've already mentioned, and at the same time, be able to address some of the other key challenges that I've already alluded to, the economic growth and job creation. The beauty about the HySA program, ladies and gentlemen, is that as much as the initial driver are the key challenges that I've mentioned, but at the same time, it opens an avenue. It provides opportunities for local manufacturing, as well as mineral beneficiation. But I'll get into that. So, ladies and gentlemen, critical to the success of the HySA program, we believe as the department is the involvement and the participation of the SMMEs, in particular in the early part of the hydrogen and fuel cell value chain, towards commercialization of research and development outcomes. We believe that this will go a long way towards addressing the triple challenge of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. So ladies and gentlemen, my presentation today is titled, as you can see, is titled Hydrogen South Africa, a National Initiative Towards a Knowledge Economy. As the department, we believe that for government to be in a position to be able to attain its key priorities, with the economy of the country needs to be transitioned from a mineral-based economy towards a knowledge-based economy. So what do we mean as the department to say that we want to transition towards a knowledge-based economy? Basically what we mean is that we want an economy, for our economic growth to be sustainable, we want an economy that is centered on the growth of the economy is centered in the quantity, quality, and accessibility of available information, as opposed to just relying on means of production. So we believe that the Hydrogen South Africa program is one of the critical national flagship programs that could be able to play a critical role in attaining this desired transition. So basically my presentation is just going to be centered in those key elements. I'll just be giving you just a brief overview of what the HISA program is all about, and in terms of the strategic goals that underpin the HISA program. And I'll just, for the benefit of some of us that might not be fully aware of what exactly entails the hydrogen and fuel cell, I'll just be giving you what it is and what it entails, and just talking about the value proposition that underpins the HISA program, and as well as just touching on the critical components that, that are the success factors that we want to ensure that as the department we focus on in ensuring that at the end of the day, we create an environment that these systems can be locally developed in South Africa and be deployed not only in the local markets, but in the global market. And then I'll just be ending with the concluding remarks. As I've already mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, basically, the HISA program is more of the implementation arm of the National Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Technologies Research, Development and Innovation Strategy. For short, it's known as the HISA strategy. This HISA strategy was actually developed by the Department of Science and Technology in 2007, and within the same year, it was approved by Cabinet. In the following year, our minister, the Minister of Science and Technology, actually formally launched this, the HISA strategy, and it was rebranded to become the Hydrogen South Africa, as also known as the HISA. So the main goals of the HISA program are to develop local cost-competitive hydrogen generation.
I've got my notes here that I'm also looking at.
So basically the main key goals of the HISA program is to develop local cost-competitive hydrogen generation solutions based on renewable sources. But at the same time, one of the key goals of the HISA program is to ensure that we build local expertise and skills so that we make sure that when we fully roll out these fuel cell systems, we have the capability that we can actually, as the country, be able to make sure that this rollout becomes sustainable and viable in a long term for the country, and we are able to attain the necessary benefits that we want to see. So this takes us to the next question, ladies and gentlemen, that you might be asking. Basically, what is a fuel cell? What does it entail? Well, in this slide, I've just given you, it's more of a schematic diagram of a fuel cell. It shows you one of the components, the critical components of a fuel cell, which we call it a membrane electrode assembly. So basically, a fuel cell, ladies and gentlemen, is just in simple terms, in a nutshell, is just a device that is able to produce electricity through chemical reaction. So what happens is that the fuel that you use to power the fuel cell is hydrogen. It enters the fuel cell at the anode section. So as soon as it enters the fuel cell at the anode section, what happens is that it comes into contact with a platinum-based catalyst. And then as soon as it comes into contact with a platinum-based catalyst, then this reaction takes place, which allows it to be split into electrons, negatively charged electrons, and positively charged ions. So the negatively charged ions, ladies and gentlemen, they flow through an electric wire, and then they go through this electrical circuit, and then it produces electricity. And then the excess goes to the other side of the fuel cell, which is called the anode, the cathode side section of the fuel cell. And then the positively charged ions, what they do is they flow through this material, this middle material, this gray shaded material. We call it an electrolyte. Basically, this is a very critical component of the fuel cell. What it does is that it allows only the positively charged ions to flow through to the other side of the fuel cell, which is the cathode. So why is it important for this function of the proton exchange membrane, which we also call it an electrolyte? It's important because in the event that we have impurities, then those impurities will not interfere with the chemical reaction of the fuel cell, which will then, if it does interfere, then it will make it, the fuel cell will not operate at its optimal. So that is the importance of this electrolyte. So on this other side, ladies and gentlemen, you get a flow of oxygen. So when it gets into the fuel cell, the oxygen then gets on the cathode side. It gets into contact with the excess electrons that have been transferred from the anode side section of the fuel cell, and then also it gets into contact with the positively charged ions, then it forms water. So basically one of the products of the hydrogen and fuel cell system is water, and then the water is drained out of the fuel cell. So basically the importance of the fuel cell is that as long as you get an inflow of hydrogen through the fuel cell, this then it propagates, it makes sure that there's continuous supply of electricity. So that is why we are saying that as the department, we feel that it is important to invest in these kind of technologies that are developed, that we can actually build capacity and skills locally so that we're able to come up with these kind of technologies that will be able to just address the three challenges that I've spoken about, which is energy access, energy security, and environmental protection, because as the main byproducts of the fuel cell, as you can see, it's electricity, heat, and water. So that is a very important part of the fuel cell. And then as I've already indicated, it was just giving you more like the very critical component of the fuel cell, which is the membrane electrode assembly. On the three-dimensional diagram, you can see where it's sitting there. So, but then, ladies and gentlemen, what you need to be fully aware of is that the assembly of a fuel cell system, it requires more other components. So these components, as you can see here, it requires your bolts, it requires your gas diffusion layers, your graphite plates, so all these, we believe that this is an opportunity that will allow the participation and the involvement of the SMMEs. Because we believe that at this stage in the HISA program, we have built the capacities. We are at a point where our technologies are at a pre-commercial phase, and at the time that when we want to fully commercialize and roll out these systems, we want to be at a point that we have active engagements with our SMMEs, so that SMMEs then can be able to locally supply these other components that will be required for the assembly of a fuel cell. I think I'm running out of time. I think this is one of the important slides that I think I want to highlight on. As I've indicated, that one of the motivation of the HISA program is that it gives us the opportunity to be able to actually beneficiate our own mineral resources. And we are aware that South Africa, we're actually sitting with approximately 75% of globally platinum reserves. Hence, we're saying that and with the fuel cell system, one of the common components being a platinum-based catalyst, then we are able to, through that, we are able to beneficiate our platinum group metals through the development and deployment of the fuel cell. But the most important part, ladies and gentlemen, that I want to just bring to your attention is that currently, if you see South Africa, through our mining industry, what we are doing is currently we are basically focusing more on the extraction of our platinum group metals, and then we export them. So there isn't much of beneficiation that takes place. So and when we beneficiate them, the return on investment as a country that we get is approximately, if we sell it to, when we export it, we sell it at a value of $1,090 per ounce. So what we're saying through the HISA program, now when we take it to a step further along the value chain, along the hydrogen and fuel cell value chain, just by focusing on the catalyst development activity, if we just sit there and we just believe that we reach a point where we are producing catalysts that are able to be commercialized into the targeted markets, then basically what as the value and the return on investment as a country that we can get out of that effort will almost double to 2,170 per ounce. So that's adding on, that's beneficiating at a higher level. Now again, when you move along the value chain, you get to the stage now where you take the catalyst and you integrate it into a membrane electrode assembly. At that point, when you beneficiate at that point, then the value that you get out of those efforts for the country will be $9,500 per ounce. And then again, when you take it even a step further, whereby now you get to a point where you want to assemble the fuel cell at a state level, state development level, the value that you get out of that beneficiation effort will almost triple to $14,400 per ounce. So you can just see the difference. And as we stand on the HISA program, we've already developed these skills. Our centers of competence that we have established have the competencies to actually develop the catalyst, they have the competencies to develop the membrane electrode assembly. We're at a pre-commercial stage. So what we're saying today, I think I'm just going to end here. What we're saying today is we want to start as the department. We believe that this is a platform that will initiate the conversations going forward to say that at a point where we are fully committed, where we have built the capacity to be able to roll out these systems in the targeted markets, we want to be able to, instead of us having to source the bipolar plates, some of the components that I've indicated to previously, we want those components to be locally developed, to be locally manufactured through our SMMEs. Because currently, as it stands, we have to source those components from our international partnerships. So that is where we feel that as the department, we feel that this is an opportunity for us to start engaging with the relevant SMMEs to say, now this is the chance to start participating in the HISA program, so that by the time these systems are rolled out, we are all ready as a country to actually fully participate and get the maximum benefits out of that. And just to give you the sense in terms of our interest and our commitment to the HISA program to date, as it stands, we have already invested at least 500 and almost $500 million towards the business activities of the HISA program. And you can just quickly, just read.
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. This is just to give you a sense in terms of these are the structures that as the department we have established to ensure that they promote the development and deployment of the hydrogen and fuel cell technologies. And as it stands, I want to focus just on the key centers of competence. We have established the centers of competence, which are three, and it's HISA Infrastructure, which is based in Northwest University at CSIR, and we have HISA Catalysis, which is responsible for catalyst development and MEA development. It's based in the University of Cape Town and is in collaboration with Mintech. We also support HISA Systems, which is hosted at the University of the Western Cape. So these are the main three structures, and through these main three structures, already to date we have established 3 spin-off companies. And we believe those are the spin-off companies that are going to be, we're going to utilize them to actually to be the commercial vehicles that will drive the commercial activities that are emanating from the HISA program. And those are the 3 spin-off companies that we believe the SMMEs will be able to interact with and really bring the innovation that is needed.
Absolutely phenomenal presentation. Think about the power of water. We take for granted the water we bath with, the water that we drink. And your gold mine and your own profit is in your own house. If we can then take these incentives that Her Excellency has mentioned and actually implement it practically in our own lives, I do believe that as SMMEs we can strive to become multinational corporations.